Why do I have so much anxiety? That might be a question you ask yourself daily. You wake up, you're filled with anxiety. You go to sleep, you're filled with anxiety. I think it's even worse when you do go to sleep. That's when we have the highest state of anxiety. And this is something I've been struggling with all my life. I was always anxious of, what to do the next day, what's going to happen next week, what is my future going to look like, and even being anxious of the past over stuff that I could not even control. So and this goes back to something today and right now as I'm filming this video. I was in a state of anxiety, and the reason why is because I felt like I wasn't doing the things that I needed to do. The days that I did not record, the days that I did not go to the gym, I had the most anxiety ever. And, there is always a solution to anxiety. Obviously, there's meds, which I don't recommend. I've never done any of that stuff. But, people are not going back to the actual problem of anxiety. They're just treating it, They're not actually doing what they need to do. So people get on medication, they start using drugs, supplements in order to suppress that anxiety. And this is something Bob Proctor said. If you go to one of his videos, how to stop anxiety, he mentions that is people are just taking drugs in order to make themselves feel better, but the issue is it's gonna make you feel worse in the long run. So today, I went to the gym. Then after I went to the gym, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like recording. I don't feel like setting up my camera and doing all these things. And here I am recording. Here I'm recording, but I needed to do what I needed to do to feel better. Because the state of anxiety is not fun. Worrying about you know tomorrow, or what you sent to a text message to somebody, or what happened a night you went out, whatever it could be, or something that went wrong. We humans don't have to be in a state of anxiety all the time. And to be in the state of anxiety and worry so much, it's going to deteriorate your brain. So things that will honestly help you, besides drugs, besides supplements, besides what the doctors say, is number one is get sunlight. And it's crazy because I didn't think all my life of getting sunlight until now. I was a person who kind of just stayed inside home all day and didn't get much sunlight. Windows were closed, but the more I'm outside and actually getting some sun, it just fuels your brain with positive energy. And you need to sweat sometimes. You need to get that sunlight to hit your face. Obviously, if you're in a place where you can't have much sun, or it's not that hot, it's cold, just take your vitamin D supplements. I know I said supplements, but getting your vitamin D is super important. It's super windy out right now, so I hope it doesn't affect the audio. But the second thing is honestly just doing what you need to do. If you're able to actually do the things that you need to do, that's how you're gonna be able to conquer your anxiety. And yes, I know at times, you wake up, you don't want to go to the gym, you don't want to record, you don't want to do research on your business, you don't want to create content, whatever it could be. But that's the solution. That's the true solution, is actually taking care of what you need to do. And I've heard somebody say this is stress, anxiety, whatever it could be, is primarily caused by not actually taking action on what you need to do, or taking too long on the decisions you need to do. It's very important to have the gym in your life. But let's just say the gym. If you know every single morning or the night before that you need to go to the gym, that you're not in shape and that you're not feeling the best shape, and you decide that you don't go, that's going to fuel even more stress and more anxiety. And when you're able to stick to a plan and stick to something where, hey, I can go 5 days a week and I know this is gonna make me feel better. So let me stick with this plan and let me do this so I can feel the best. So whatever decision it is, if you want to reach out to a company, apply for a job, the best thing to do is just do it now. Do it now before it comes too late and you regret you didn't do it earlier. And I know some viewers are watching and are like, you know what? I don't have the willpower to do it. I don't have the confidence to do it. I don't have this feeling inside me to do it. I feel uncomfortable in these situations. Whatever it could be, just do it because you are not going to regret trying. That's one thing. You will never regret trying something. You'll only regret the things that you didn't do. To recap on everything is anxiety and stress is primarily caused of the things that you're not taking care of and also the things that you've been dwelling on. If you've been dwelling on a bill, if you've been dwelling on, you know, messaging somebody, just do it. The time is now, and the just do it meme. Just have that in your head, but take the time and think. If I don't do this now, where will my life be like in 10 years? Then also tell yourself, if I do this now, where will my life be like in 10 years as well? So it's all about perspective and actually taking care of what you need to do, and that's how you get ahead in life.